Welcome to another massive challenge. Today we're testing two extremes. Which is harder, punching through giant foam walls or protecting a $500,000 jackpot? Every level cleared earns the team a massive payout. But the real goal? The team that finishes with the fastest time bags an extra $100,000 bonus. The setup. Representing Team Foam, we have Ben and Jack. Taking on the giant rocks, we have Leo. Since rock is obviously tougher than foam, Leo gets a teammate, Cooper, and the heaviest tools in the shed. Both teams have 5 minutes per round to do as much damage as possible. Round 1, the first strike. Jack is up first for Team Foam. His starting tool? Just a pair of gloves. But wait, there's zero friction. He's forced to use his elbows, and man, this foam is surprisingly tough. He's barely leaving a mark. Meanwhile, over at the rocks, Leo starts with a small hammer. Listen to that crisp sound. The rock is already chipping away. Back at the foam, Jack is trying to move fast, but the static electricity and suction are holding him back. Joker's big move. Suddenly, Cooper props up a rock and gives it a massive kick. Crack! It snaps clean in half. Who knew breaking rocks would be this easy? Jack is getting desperate. He rips off his gloves to use his bare hands, but without sharp nails, he can't even scratch the surface. Round 2, tool upgrades. Time for an upgrade. Jack gets a small knife. It looks dull, but it's working. He's finally carving out a decent hole. Over on Team Rock, the boulders are getting bigger, but Leo finds a weak point and starts shattering them into powder. Jack is looking over, totally jealous. He wishes he had a partner to swap out with. The foam strikes back. Jack gets an axe, but his first knife is already trashed. Is this foam actually stronger than rock? He's swinging with everything he's got. He even finds some residents, bugs living inside the foam layers, and has to carve out the whole chunk. Leo's progress. Leo and Cooper are a well-oiled machine. With a bigger hammer, every strike turns stone into dust. They've cleared another massive boulder. The 15-layer reveal. Jack finally upgrades to a chisel and hammers through level 1. But here's the catch. He has to clear 15 layers to win. Meanwhile, Leo hits a wall. The third rock is massive. Their small hammers are doing absolutely nothing. They've given up and started using the giant rock as a rocking bed just to take a break. High stakes finishing. Jack grabs a crowbar and an axe, putting every ounce of strength into level 2. Over at the rocks, Cooper brings out the big guns, a power drill. They're drilling holes and setting expansion bolts. It works. A massive crack appears. The final grind. Jack finally breaks through level 2 and starts hacking at level 3. It's exhausting work. He's looking at those 15 layers and realizing, even if he had 2 full days, this might be impossible. Leo and Cooper are on their 4th rock now, and this one is the toughest yet. The hammer literally bounces off. They're swinging with all their might, but they haven't even scratched the surface. Ending cliffhanger. Back to Jack. This layer of foam seems brittle. He's swinging, he's smashing, and he's finally making a breakthrough. Since the hammers aren't cutting it against the giant rock, Leo and Cooper go back to the winning strategy. They drill 5 holes and hammer in expansion bolts. It doesn't matter how solid the rock is. Under that kind of pressure, something's gotta give. A few more heavy swings and crack. A massive chunk falls off. Meanwhile, Jack is still hacking away with his axe, but the foam wall isn't budging. Leo tries a heavy-duty power drill on the core, but the rock is so dense it just turns to dust. Cooper isn't giving up though. He brings in even bigger bolts. At this point, nobody is even looking at the clock. It's a dead heat to see who breaks through first. Winner declared. The foam layers are endless, but Leo finally shatters the last of the rock. Congratulations to Leo, he takes home the prize money. But now, I have to ask you, if you were in this challenge, would you pick the endless foam or the solid rock? New challenge, the $500,000 shield. Now, let's up the stakes. Can you protect $500,000 in cash from total destruction for 24 hours? If you can, you take it all home. Our challenger Mark is ready to play. I've handed him a credit card for his defense fund, the equivalent of the cost of 5 tanks. The construction. Mark decides to build an anti-cannon fortress. He starts by buying 3 massive shipping containers to encase the cache. But 3 isn't enough. He hits the market for more, paying double the price to get them delivered instantly. I warned him that metal boxes might not be enough, so Mark gets creative. Layer 1, the shipping containers. Layer 2, giant industrial tubs filled with water to absorb the impact. Layer 3, stacks of bricks, hay bales, and wooden barrels. Layer 4, a wall of scrapped cars to act as a shield. It's an expensive setup. Honestly, the materials might cost more than the prize. The moment of truth. The cash is tucked at the very back of the containers, behind a wall of concrete blocks. We're facing down a battery of cannons. Each cannon has 5 rounds. Can Mark's fortress survive 20 cannonballs? Mark pulls the trigger. Boom! The power is terrifying. Dust clouds fill the air, and things are looking good for the money. Every shot pierces the outer layers. Cannonballs are flying outside while the cash is flying inside. The aftermath. Once the smoke clears, Mark rushes inside. Under the assault of 20 rounds, the final container has a massive hole blown through it. Some of the cash took a hit, but it's still spendable. The ultimate threat, 100 TNT crates. But wait, the cannons were just round 1. Round 2 is even deadlier, and the clock is still ticking. This time, we're using over 100 crates of TNT. If these go off at once, it's game over. Mark completely redesigns the bunker. He lines the sides with scrap cars, places the water tubs up front, and reinforces the containers with a solid concrete wall. With only 1 hour left, he brings in a massive semi-truck as a final shield and douses everything in water to prevent a fire. The explosion, he's out of time. He hits the button. Kaboom! It's a fireball! Mark grabs a fire extinguisher and sprints into the heat. Once the flames are out, the results are in. The prize money survives again. Round 3, the flaming car. Now for the third and final test, a fireball car. We've soaked a vehicle in gasoline, and we're going to launch it. If even a spark touches that cash, it's all gone! Mark is back to work surrounding the jackpot with a wall of bricks and the fire challenge. Final defense, Mark is going all out. He's stacking wood in the middle of his defense. Wait, is he trying to make the fire bigger? He piles cars and boulders on top. This isn't just a test of fire. We're launching 5 flaming cars and 5 massive fireballs directly at the jackpot. The impact. The cannons fire. Flaming cars smash into the containers, and fireballs turn the fort into an inferno. The heat is relentless. Warning, don't try this at home, kids. Once the flames are finally doused, Mark rushes in. It's a disaster. The prize money, completely charred. It's nothing but ash and soot. Mark has failed the challenge. It's a heavy loss, but I'm still giving him $10,000 as a consolation prize for the effort. Quick question for you guys. If you had to protect $500,000, what would your strategy be? Quick challenge. The chocolate sculptors. Next up, art. You can eat. Jack and Cooper are competing to see who can carve the craziest chocolate masterpiece for a $100,000 grand prize. Our judges, the High Point brothers, will score the work. Highest score wins. Lowest score gets a brutal punishment. Next one, snacks versus pizza. They start with solid blocks of real chocolate. Jack decides to carve a classic donut. Cooper, thinking a donut is too much work, goes for a chocolate pizza. 5 minutes on the clock. Jack is using a file to smooth his edges, while Cooper is just eating the scraps. Focus, Cooper! He tries a power saw, but it's too dull. Jack switches to an X-Acto knife for the fine details. The finish, Jack uses a power drill to punch a hole right through the center. Perfect! Cooper is struggling. The chocolate is melting in his hands. He wipes the mess on Jack's shirt and keeps scrubbing. Time's up. Jack's donut looks professional, especially after he sprays it with water to give it a glossy finish. Cooper's pizza? A bit rustic. Judge's verdict? Jack takes the point. 1-0. 1-0. Next round, the skateboard versus the hammer. Next round, Cooper wants to carve a hammer. Jack goes for something more artistic, a chocolate skateboard. Jack fires up a circular saw, but the friction melts the chocolate instantly. Cooper uses a scraper to mold his hammerhead. Jack isn't giving up. He carves a deck and uses a zester to get that smooth finish. He even carves 4 tiny wheels. The test. Jack assembles his skateboard, but the second he puts weight on it, snap! It breaks! Cooper's hammer, however, has a claw end and a flat head. He actually uses the chocolate hammer to drive a real nail into a board. It works! Judge's verdict. The point goes to Cooper. It's a tie game. The chocolate blocks is getting bigger. Cooper wants to make a cute little piggy. Jack is going for a penguin. 3 minutes. They're drilling, carving, and sawing. Jack uses chocolate slabs for wings and a tiny nub for a beak. Cooper carves out a rounded arch for the pig's body and adds 4 stubby legs. They add the paint. Black for the penguin, pink for the pig. Judge's verdict. The penguin is incredibly detailed, but the pig is just too cute. After a close look, Jack wins the point. He's back in the lead. Round 4, the tech battle. Last round for now. The blocks are massive. Cooper is making a video game controller. Jack is making a chocolate smartphone, and he says if he wins, he's giving a real phone to one of the fans. 3.5 minutes. Jack uses a cutter to get that sleek smartphone shape, even carving out a home button. Cooper sketches the logo onto his controller and hacks away the excess. They spray on the colors, adding different shades for all the buttons. The final scoring, the judges step in. They love the smartphone, but the High Point brothers are huge gamers. They can't resist that controller. Judges' verdict, Cooper scores. We are tied up again. The final chocolate battle. It all comes down to this, with massive blocks of chocolate on the line. The final task is to carve a legendary video game character in just 3.5 minutes. Jack sketches out his figure with a wooden dowel, while Cooper goes aggressive with the power saw. The reveal. Once the spray paint dries, the judges are stunned. Cooper created a pixel-perfect creeper from Minecraft, but Jack went the extra mile. His character looks like a high-end collectible with individual strands of chocolate hair. The verdict, the judges huddle up, and the winner is Jack. The punishment, poor Cooper has to be marinated in a vat of liquid chocolate for 24 hours. Talk about a sweet nightmare. Challenge 2, the 100,000 ruble secret doors. Door 1, the balloon pit. Anna and Ben are racing for 100,000 rubles. To move forward, they must find a hidden key in a room filled with thousands of balloons. Anna thinks the key is light and floating. Ben thinks it's heavy and sinking. Anna gets lucky. A balloon pops and the key flies out. She's through to level 2. Ben eventually finds his key, but he's already falling behind. Door 2, the basketball lock. To get the next key, they have to sink 2 baskets in a row. Anna is struggling with her form, but she manages to land the shots. Her reward? Not a key, just a pile of Lego bricks and rubber ducks to dig through. Ben catches up but gets hit with a punishment mid-game. He has to sink baskets while handcuffed. Against all odds, he does it, only to be blasted with foam bullets. Eventually, both find their keys and head for the creepy door 3. This room is nightmare fuel. 3 holes in the wall, and you have to reach in blind. Ben feels something slimy and wet. Anna touches something soft, squishy, and gross. They both pull out cards with secret codes for the next door. They're buried in wood shavings. Ben finds a shovel and uncovers a number. Anna is stuck, so she hits the emergency button to call in a helper with a metal detector. Ben moves on to the final vault. The final vault. Ben enters a room full of mystery buttons. One button gives him a bucket of midnight snack slop. Another showers him in confetti. Finally, the key. Anna is right on his heels, but she gets the stinky fish button and a box of creepy crawlies. Then uses a power drill to remove the security screws on a wooden barrier, smashes through a foam wall, and finds the gift chamber. Winner, Ben takes the jackpot. He's a good sport, though. He shares a gift with Anna to celebrate. Challenge 3. The portable potty endurance. The setup. 4 players, 4 very different portable toilets. Anna, the chicken coop, full of birds and feathers. Mark, the chemical hazard, smells like a lab fire. Fatty, the primitive pit, worst environment imaginable. Leo, the VIP lounge, luxury and AC. Round 1, plunger toss. Players must stick a toilet plunger onto a target. Leo is only 3 feet away because of his VIP status. He wins easily. The losers get the sludge, a bucket of smelly brown goo dumped over their stalls. Fatty gets hit with the sludge in a cold water blast. Brutal, the box dash. The toilets are moved to a poolside. The players have to run across hot pavement to grab a supply box. Mark tries to be cool and jumps into the pool to clean off the sludge, but he realizes he's soaking wet in a portable potty. Anna uses her stink spray reward to turn Leo's VIP lounge into a gas chamber. Prom 3, the mummy challenge. Players are wrapped in toilet paper like mummies. They have to survive a barrage of water balloons without the paper breaking. Fatty loses her balance and falls right out of her stall. She's eliminated. Anna stays perfectly still and survives. Mark tries the spinning technique, but the paper shreds instantly. His punishment? A face full of dust. The final potty showdown. The ice challenge is brutal. Leo the VIP is shivering so hard he's ready to quit to stay in the game. The assistant forces him to eat a piece of stinky durian fruit while his toilet is hoisted into the air and spun around. Dizzy and desperate, Leo sees the assistant charging at his stall with a vehicle. In a moment of panic, Leo abandons his own stall and dives into Anna's potty. Rule break. Since you can't enter someone else's box, Leo is eliminated. Now it's down to Anna and Leo, who got back in. To win, Leo uses a stink bomb tactic through the ventilation pipe. The smell is so toxic that Anna is forced to forfeit just to breathe. Congratulations to Leo, the king of the toilets. New challenge, $80,000 mention hide and seek, the hiding phase. 5 players have 5 minutes to vanish inside a luxury mansai. pawn. The prize, $80,000. Asterisk, Rose, Rue, Hua tries to hide behind the television, but a magical song starts playing, and she accidentally dances into view. She heads outside to hide on the trampoline instead. Lily Xiaoli finds a black car to hide under, but the wet paint turns her completely black. She bails and stuffs herself inside a washing machine in the laundry room. Anna finds a specialized light fixture. Everything she sees is yellow, but her camouflage is perfect. Fatty hides inside the refrigerator. It's cool and full of snacks, but the temperature is dropping fast. Jack Xiao decides to disguise himself as a toilet. It's the ultimate stealth move. Until the smell starts to get to him. The search begins. Ben the Seeker has to navigate TNT traps. If he cuts the wrong wire, bam! He cuts the red wire. He's safe from the blast, but the assistant blasts him in the face with white flour anyway. Ben starts his search. He skates through the house on a skateboard, but accidentally rolls straight into the swimming pool. Soaking wet, he heads to the trampoline. Rose freezes, hoping she looks like part of the equipment, but Ben starts jumping. Found! Rose is out. The clues emerge. Ben notices the power is flickering near the kitchen, but ignore. Father Rich for now. Meanwhile, Fatty is freezing to death in the refrigerator. She sneaks out to warm up, but she leaves a trail of wet footprints across the floor. Ben follows the tracks. He feels the top of the fridge. It's warm. He swings the door open and finds Fatty. She's out. They take her to the laundry room and wrap her in clothes to thaw her out. The toilet trap. Ben heads to the bathroom to disarm another TNT trap. He fails and takes a penalty, but then he sees a hand reach out from the toilet. He grabs it, and Jack pops out. Jack tries to flush and run, but Ben tackles him. Jack is out. The final two. Only Anna and Lily are left. Ben notices the lights are still acting weird. He inspects the last light fixture and, aha! Anna is caught. Finally, Ben goes through the laundry room. He starts patting down every appliance. When he hits the washing machine, he hears a thud. He opens the lid and finds Lily. Wait, according to the final tally, Lily stayed hidden the longest through all the chaos. Congratulations to Lily. She wins the $80,000.